Hello there, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Nick and it's time for the Friday chat, which previously it's been on one week it went on a Saturday, and 1 week it wasn't there at all, so apologies for that. We're inside, we're not walking this time, and the reason behind it is, well, we're in October and it's pouring with rain, the worst rain I've seen in quite some time. Now, even with a decent camera, it will be problematic filming outside there without a team of people around me with umbrellas and all that sort of stuff. So we are inside this time round, which happens quite a lot with the UK weather. So unbelievably, we're in October. It didn't seem that long ago. It was the start of the year, but 2021 is racing away, and soon it'll be 2022. So a lot of things has happened to me this year. Well, in the grand scheme of things, I don't suppose it's that much, but a lot has happened. Personally, you might be going through a tricky year yourself as well. So thank you for your support. Thank you very much. So first of all, generally I do a roundup of the games we've covered in the last week, but this time I'll start with something that's been on my mind. Well, it's been a bit of a struggle for the last 5 or 6 weeks where I've been trying to push this through. It's been quite mentally exhausting. A lot of you might already know this information because I sort of like hinted at it in other videos, but it's come to a conclusion, and it's come to a positive conclusion. So thank you there, the gods, whoever it was shining. Now, because of stress at work, I'd previously been given a temporary move to a different role within retail where I am, and it was said just to be temporary on the basis that I had a mental health chat, which I didn't want to do with the company's third-party company. So I was dreading that. Got the phone call, and it's the most awkward call I ever had. I don't think it did much good because I seem to understand my condition more than the person that was talking to me, and I felt I was working from a script a bit, but I knew I was tied into work and I had to go through a certain process. Now, during that talk, because I wanted my move to be permanent, so I was trying to give my answers to fulfill that. During that call, a couple of times, the doctor I was speaking to said, right, I'm going to recommend that you go back to the department that you was before, which was causing me all the stress, and have a stress meeting with your manager there with a view of going back. And I said, look, there's no way I can do that. But they continued on with this talk, and that just put my stress levels up, because where I was a bit understaffed. I knew, for no fault of anyone that's there, I know that they wouldn't be able to change anything with what they had available. And the person said this a few times, and the call ended with, well, I'd have to leave then. I couldn't really go back there. And I thought, well, that's it. That's done me no good at all. My work seemed to be wanted to do the move, but then I now got this mental health report that's going back to them saying, have a stress test, whatever that means, and then go back, see what things could change. Well, in an ideal world, maybe that's a good thing, but we're never in the ideal world, and I don't think the person agreed. So then I was sweating to see what would come back with the report. They was going to send it to me. I had a choice of getting it first and then the company next, but I didn't want any delays. I wanted to make definite moves either way, because when you suffer from stress, all you want is definite. It's like binary, 0 or 0, yes or no, no maybes in the middle, because that's when your mind starts to race. So they got the report at the same time as me. It was a very long-winded report, a bit like someone who's been told to write an essay at class that hasn't listened to what the teachers said, and it was going a bit round the houses. But the third page said, so like, I recommend Nikki does another role which is less stressful to there. So okay, right, I'm suddenly out of nowhere, I'm winning, but I don't know how the company was going to interpret it. Well, to cut a long story short, well, I didn't really, it was still quite long, wasn't it? They then said, Nick, your move to where you're going, it's checkout work anyway, is permanent. So the good thing about that is I'm not interrupted at all. I know it's just one set job, nothing unexpected is going to happen, and also as well I can go home without any stress. It allows me to run this channel as well, because I've got more permanent hours on this other department where it's just temporary. I should get my weeks in advance, because the problem that's been happening in this channel, though hopefully you haven't noticed a great deal, is when your work hours are only given to you about a week before, or sometimes even a day before, it's very hard to plan stuff. I think, right, I'm going to do a video here, there and that, but it's an energy level as well, because you say, got to keep enthusiasm, got to get energy in there, or else it's pointless, because we're all here to have fun and to defeat stress. So Good news is my move is now permanent. Okay, so that's a huge relief, and already I feel quite a lot better in myself. So thank you for your support and supporting the channel as well. So now it's just this can go leaps and bounds forward now, because nothing unexpected, I don't think, is going to happen. Always be ready for a knockdown blow. That was the song, wasn't it, from that musical? But you know, I shall be fine. So it's been a big journey from banking, then to retail, then to a different department within retail to get where I am, and it did really tire me, that whole process. But you know, the things you have to do, and if you've got a mind a bit like mine, you always think the worst case scenario and you play mind games with yourself, and you probably make the situation a lot worse for yourself than it actually really is, when really you need to chill. It's easy for me to say this in hindsight now. We need to chill and let events take place. So we're on better ground, aren't we? So we're inside this week, as you can tell. Hopefully next week we'll be outside. I've already got my hours for next week, and that's pretty much doable. So hooray, hooray, hooray for that. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. It's the Halloween countdown, isn't it? And it's Christmas countdown. The supermarket where I work, they've got a seasonal aisle, and it's Halloween and Christmas at the same time down there. Yes, all these things seem to be on top of each other now, don't they? So, hope you've been liking the videos on the channel. I tend to do about 6 a week gaming channels there. I'll just quickly go over them in case you've missed them and want to see them again, or see them for the first time. Now, two interesting ZX Spectrum ones, two early games. First one was Sam Spade, based on the arcade game Space Panic. Now, I first come familiar with this type of game on the third stage of Horizon Spiders, which I loved. But essentially, you control a man on a single screen going up and down ladders. There's often some bugs or aliens going around the maze there, and you must hit holes in the platform floors, and when the bugs come in to repair them, you can stamp on them to destroy them. Some bugs you just stamp on them once, others you need to knock them down more than one level to destroy them, and that's where the skills involved. You've got to try and avoid getting hit by them. Reviewed quite a few, Panic clones. Bounce Panic was one, and one just called Panic. I thought this was one of the better ones. It's moved quite smoothly. Had a bit of a feeling of Donkey Kong with the character at the bottom to the thing, and perhaps the colour also. But I think that was well worth tracking down. A nice basic game, Sam Spade. The second game we covered on that Saturday was by Kevin J. Besant. It uses the same characters he uses in Nifty Lifty, which I absolutely loved. There's another game we might come to called Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes, also the same character, so I don't know, we might have a look at that one as well. But this game was 10 years, 1994, 10 years after. Now it's a bit tenuous this, because it's supposed to be set 10 years after George Orwell's fantastic novel 1984. I think some of the text has been lost here, because I don't think he would have approved this. There's a lot going on the first screen, and admittedly I never got past the first screen, because there's this yellow bird that come on every now and again, picked you up and took you for a big ride all over the place, and it just got a bit crazy. It annoyed me, this game, because there's so much going on. There was a bit of slowdown there. Interesting to see, but I don't think it was a game I would have gone back to too much in the day. Go for Nifty Lifty over this one. And the other ZX Spectrum game we did on the week was a really great homebrew. It's by Zosya Entertainment. They've reworked an existing game that came out in 1997, a first-person shooter. It's called The Dark Redux, which is unusual to see on the ZX Spectrum. No real slowdown on this. It says it's on the 48K. I find it hard to believe, but if anyone can do it, Zosya Entertainments can do it. Well worth tracking that down. There is a physical release available from this one, which comes in another game, The Dark, which I need to come to as well. So if you want the physical media, you can do that from the Zosya Entertainment site, and every game they come up with is an absolute winner. It's almost as if they're using some kind of crazy voodoo magic. How do they do that? I do not know. Nobody knows. And on the Commodore Amiga, we looked at a game that was great on the Spectrum, not so great in 16-bit, Frostbite. Looks like it's been made very quickly, this game. You control a creature called a Keezer, and you must rescue 5 other Keezers on an ice planet that's been trapped in 5 separate red cages. Now, whether, the ZX Spectrum game had a certain 8-bit cuteness to it, I suppose a little kid doing a dance, I think that's quite cute. This is probably a 24-year-old person doing the same dance, suddenly it's not quite so cute. The Commodore Amiga could do so much better than this. It feels like a public domain game, it feels a little bit rushed. and I didn't like it too much. When you compare it against other games available on this platform, always cite Psygnosis, Shadow of the Beast 2, in terms of the graphics and the sound and all those sort of stuff, then this is almost feels like it's on a different computer. So if you're going to play Frostbite, stick to one of the 8-bit versions, avoid this one completely. On the Mega Drive, we looked at a top-down racing game. I've been told this is an alpha to Combat Cars, which is a lot better than that, so perhaps I can see that. This is called Fun Car Rally. I'm not sure if it got a commercial release or not, but it just moves darn too quick. You need like Jedi reflexes to have any chances with this one. The graphics are good. Some people might get the hang of it. I really struggled. Too fast. I'm gradually getting better, but it's too gradual. And if I was going to get onto the next track, it would probably been a video lasting 6 days. So that's Fun Car Rally. A bit of fun, but you know, more of frustration. And the other game we come to, the last one, is on the Commodore 64. We've got that sort of like working now. It's a game I played to death on the ZX Spectrum. Always wanted to see what it looked like on the Commodore 64, so here we go. It's Daley Thompson's Decathlon, the game that broke joysticks and fingers as well, as you pounded away trying to do all 10 events to get Daley to the finish line. This version, the Commodore 64, looks more similar to the arcade game Track and Field. There are big differences in this and the Spectrum version. Both are very playable. My preference for the ZX Spectrum version, but that's just because I've got nostalgia for the thing. But put them side by side, take nostalgia away, I'd have to say the Commodore 64 is probably the better game out of the two, because you've got opponents to race in the 100 metres as well, and as I say, that track and field combination. Now there are subtle differences with the gameplay as well. In the 1500 metres, you have to waggle the joystick to hit the buttons for the full 1500 metres. That's too much for me. I think the 400 was the limit on the ZX Spectrum one, so you know, you're going to cause yourself an injury if you're playing this all the time. Title screen is a bit interesting as well. Looks like Daley's probably had on a weird diet and maybe unwell. So they were the 6 games there. So thank you for watching those. Show them some love. Have a look at them. If you're a member, which we'll come to in a moment, there'll be a video on Sunday telling you what the next videos are coming up in the following week. So still lots of greatness to come. I'm never going to run out of videos. So but keep watching, keep being tuned in. The only other news that's been sort of like going on this week, if you're in the UK, I'm not sure what other countries are affected, maybe more, let me know in the comment section below, is this crazy panic fuel buying that's going on. Now, we weren't really short of fuel, but because people, we might have got a bit low, but because people have been panic buying and the social media make the situation worse than it perhaps should have been, idiots have been going out, filling up their cars when they don't need to, probably don't drive that much, and also, once they have filled up their cars, going back with jerry cans to fill up more petrol and then going back and store it in their garage. It's very selfish. There was one person on Facebook that was trying to sell fuel onto people at an inflated price. They were derided quite quickly by lots and lots of people, profiteering from people's misery, essentially. There's even a report as well of a woman going to a petrol station and filling up petrol in a supermarket carrier bag and it all leaking about the place, then double bagging it and putting it in the boot of her car. How safe is that? There's been pictures of people fighting outside a petrol station, queues everywhere, deliveries being held up, so now they're limiting it to 30 litres. Now I think it's going to all blow over in a couple of days, but I feel sorry for people that district nurses, they're taxi drivers, but now they're prioritising, I think, NHS and emergency staff, which is good. It's like all these things really. No need to panic buy. And of course as well, it's been gridlocking roads. Transports have been held up because they can't get through this. Deliveries to certain places have been held up as well, which makes it look like there's shortages with certain products and stuff in supermarkets when there isn't. It's just that the van delivering it has been delayed on the road. God, I need a drink there to fighting off a bit of a cough there. So there's no real need to panic. No need to panic at all. Don't panic, Captain Mannering. Okay, so big thank you to the members. This is the members bit. If you want to find out how to become a member and support the channel, keep this thing going, then click on the join button and tell you a little bit about what's going on. I thank you to all the tiers. It starts off very cheaply at $1.99, so thank you everyone that's taken that up. If you're on the second tier and above, I will shout out your name, unless you don't want me to, then obviously tell me on the members section or send me a message over Jenkins7Nick, and anything that you're working on, I'll be very happy to shout that out for you. Let me get my breath back. Okay, so big thank you to Dogs, Obed Brinkman, thank you. Grey Hulk 2, thank you for your help with the Commodore 64 stuff. Thank you, Grey Hulk 2. Pete James, massive thanks to you. Now, this is one of the longest names ever. You want to check out this YouTube site as well. Jason Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession. I feel like I needed a bit of an echo on that. Maybe next time I can do that. So thank you very much, Jason. GTB Films. David Harakawa, who does lots of great models, so check him out on Twitter, models of cars and stuff and kits he does. Thank you to Neil Barrett and the games you suggest to have a look at. I ain't got time to do all of them, but I do write them down and catch the occasional one. Big thank you to Ratty. Thank you, Ratty. My lad 1. Zone 1255, thank you, sir. And the mighty Alf Fairweather, thank you, Alf, for all your help there. Torka Mardia, thank you, sir. Jason Smith, Nikki S, I know I see a few of you in the live stream, so thank you, which hopefully we should be able to do that next Tuesday again. It shouldn't be moved anywhere, so I'm confident of that. Thank you to Claire Johnson. What Ho Snookers, thank you, What Ho, a very good chappy indeed, thank you, What Ho. John Roby and Jeffrey Searby, thank you. Steve Norman, big thanks to Steve Norman. We all know about Steve Norman. If you don't, well, you should do, because he runs retroarcadia.blog. It's an active blog website dealing in retro games and sometimes modern games as well, where it gives you quite detailed views or memories on those sort of games. It's a nice site and really easy to navigate, really professionally done. This time he's looked at Wonder Boy on the arcade, a platformer game. There are quite a lot of variants of this game, a lot of sequels and stuff. I think I might have covered it on the ZX Spectrum, I can't quite remember. Previously, very recently, he's looked at the Xbox recent releases on there as well, most notably Quake and Art of Rally. Now, I've read this blog. Art of Rally looks absolutely fantastic. If you want to know a bit more about that and Steve's views, go to retroarcadia.blog, but that looks absolutely super duper. Previously, Steve's looked at a lot of stuff, but he's looked at the Renegade series as well. Really huge on the ZX Spectrum there. See what Steve does. So he covers a range of things, but popular things as well. Always something to find there, and go through the archive and see how that's going on. But really picking up that site. Good stuff. Well done, Steve. retroarcadia.blog. Go there today. Thank you. And also thank you to Lemmy Barnett. Thank you very much. Steve Q. Now, thank you, Steve, for all your help. So you've everyone lifts me, but what you've done recently has lifted me massively, especially combined with my recent news at work. So I'm in a different zone now. So thank you very much, Steve. Enjoy your week. Have a good weekend, sir. Big thanks to Phil Hill, Chono Baggy, and also Jason Holmes. So thank you very much, all of you. Thank you. And there's 7 of you on the upper tier, so thank you there. As I always say, if there's a load of people like you, I'd be full-time straight away doing this. Okay, thank you to Rossi Bossy. Now, Rossi Bossy, I know he's been working on it a long time, but it's worth it. Sometimes great games take a while to be brewed. There's a lot going on as well, but Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix. Super Pixel 3D Grand Prix. Rossi's site should be up there now if you want to check out his other endeavours. He's been really working on this game a long time, but it's looking brilliant. He's been working on the AI, the graphical touches, the lighting. Each week that goes by, despite he works full time, he's put an extra gloss on this game. It's good he hasn't rushed it out too early. He does various alphas on Twitter. You can take part in those, so follow him there. So do check out his site. Follow him on Twitter as well for any updates there. If he has another alpha, you'll be ready there to take advantage of that. We can give him feedback about this absolutely awesome chase racing game, which I do some of the voiceover work on as well. So that can't be too bad, can it really? So that's Super Pixel, Super 3D, I often get those two words mixed up, Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix, unless it changes its name, but that's its name at the moment, I believe. But good stuff, Rossi, keep doing what you're doing. He's had a pretty epic year with things that have been going on as well, but all coming up good. Good. big thank you to, where have I got to so far? Colin Hode. Thank you, Colin. You helped me a great deal as well, Colin. So have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Colin. Martin R. You cheer me up as well, so thank you. They're watching the streams quite often after they've gone up. Occasionally you hit a live one, but you always watch them afterwards, and I love your comments. Thank you, Martin. Richard Mitten. Hope all is well, Richard, where you are. Big thanks to Tom. Thank you, Tom. Graham Webke, my friend in Australia, and also Jules M. Now, Jules does lots of different sites there, but this one I'm going to shout out. Apologies I wouldn't be able to shout this out last week with what was going on, but I've got this on Twitter. I know all the links, does he? This is when he can't find the link. It's up here somewhere. Yeah, right, okay. I'll put a link up there as well. It is School Reading 70sbooks.weebly.com / other children. I'll give you the main bits. Schools Reading 70sbook.weebly.com. If you look on the navigation there, you'll be able to go to other children, where there's lots of other stuff to see as well, so I recommend you going everywhere. But in particular, Jules has recently looked at updated an Enid Blyton page. You know Enid Blyton, 7 do this, 5, was it 7 or 5 do something? Anyway, they were doing stuff with that little dog, venture seeking and stuff like that. Anyway, Jules has been working on that recently. She's been looking at various titles there. She's attached me some pictures. Let's have a look on those. So it goes the Magic Fairway Tree, Rare Rabbit Book, Don't Be Silly, Mr. Twiddle. Now he looks like a kind of guy that I can work with. Don't be silly, Mr. Twiddle. So have a look at that. Sleepy Time Tale. So it's all about, like gaming as well, it's all about having a retro buzz, getting links to the past, and it gives you a warm feeling as well, takes you back to previous times. So take a look at that, but spend some time on that site, School 70s Books. It's like a treasure trove, really. You can be lost in links going to all various places there. So well done, Jules. Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for the vid caps when you get time to do those on the live stream. So there we go, and that's pretty much all I've got to say this time. I've been waffling on like a nincompoop. This has been recorded on Friday this time. I've got to go to work now. I'm finishing at 9, so I might be answering the comments directly on this a little bit later on. But I'll have a bit more warning going forward, hopefully, with my proper move. So have a fantastic weekend, everyone. As I say, stress is getting to you a little bit. Hopefully we can help as a community, and it's most evident when we come to the live stream. We all come together. So thank you if you had time to go into those. But it's starting to look a lot better now. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic weekend, and next week as well. A couple of ZX Spectrum videos will be going up on the channel tomorrow. Members will know what that are, and a couple on Sunday too. So till next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.